my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Hello there and welcome to Foodie Legends, your go-to source for the best foods to eat around the world and their history.
We're in the end game now.
But before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell so you guys can catch up on our latest food journeys.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
Without further ado, let's go. Coming in at number 1 on our list is the Omurice, a hearty, rich, and creamy dish that can surely fill your stomach up for half of the day. The term Omurice is the combination of omu and raisu, derived from the Japanese pronunciation of the word omelet and rice. These words are examples of waseigo, linguistics derivatives, or Japanese language expressions based on the English language. Eating omelet and other dishes are a beloved part of European meals, especially during breakfast, and the Japanese people quickly got used to this tradition. Although omurice is considered by most people to be a Western invention, because of its use of eggs, omurice is actually a uniquely Japanese creation. The origin of omurice is a hotly contested topic, with various restaurants claiming to be the inventor of the classic Yōshoku dish.
That man's an imposter! That man is the imposter!
However, despite these numerous and confusing claims, most people believe that omurice made its debut during the 1900s, the 33rd year of the Meiji era. It is said that a Western-style restaurant in Tokyo's Ginza district conceived the idea of omurice and was the first to serve it, inspired by chakin sushi. Eating eggs used to be a not-so-popular custom before and during the Edo period because of strict Buddhist standards. But Japan's opening to the world and the influence of Western cuisine made the eating of this creamy and yoki delight become fashionable, hence the rise of omurice in Japanese cuisine. Omurice has a lot of variants, and in every way is delicious.
Nice!
One popular way of serving omurice is by cooking the eggs in a classic omelet fashion, preparing it like a layer of cloth. Then, a special type of fried rice is cooked with carrots, green beans, and tiny pieces of chicken or ham. Afterwards, the fried rice is shaped tightly, and it will be enveloped in the layer of omelet, almost like a burrito. Meanwhile, another way of serving omurice is the one which is more popular today. The fried rice is cooked first, then shaped tightly on the plate to be set aside. The omelet is cooked on the frying pan expertly, keeping its oval shape and must not be overcooked. Once it's done, the omelet will be carefully placed above the fried rice and elegantly sliced open by a knife. If cooked right, a creamy layer of yolk will pour down on its side, covering the fried rice with a shiny layer of omelet. To finish, it will be topped with a silky rich demi-glaze sauce and some spring onions or parsley as decoration. Coming in at number 2 on our list is Japanese curry.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Yes, you heard that right. Curry.
These are confusing times.
As we all know, it is a popular notion that curry originated from India. So, how did curry become a part of Japan's Western-style cuisine? The story goes, the Anglo-Indian officers introduced curry to Japan during the Meiji era, bringing the curry powder to its shores after the end of the Sakoku period. Curry was first served in Japan during the 1870s, quickly becoming a widely loved dish in Japanese cuisine. Eventually, the Imperial Japanese Navy adopted curry as part of its menu to prevent its sailors from falling into a disease called beriberi. The curry tradition survived Japanese demilitarization, and its maritime self-defense force has curry as part of the Friday menu because it is a very easy thing to cook and very nutritious too. While the Japanese curry has an Indian background, the two curries are widely different in many ways. Indian curry is a way spicier and has more variety of herbs and spices such as cumin, paprika, turmeric, and many types of chilies, while Japanese curry has a more laid-back flavor profile. Because of the differences in seasonal ingredients, Japanese curry adapted more to what is native to their land, has a thicker consistency, and mostly brown in color, while the Indian curry has varying textures and colors because it is not exactly one dish. Lastly, What defines Japanese curry is that it has a roux base incorporated with the curry powder, which means the sauce is cooked with flour to thicken the sauce first. Other thickening agents can be used as well, such as potatoes or rice. Japanese curry has become an icon of modern Japanese cuisine, appealing to people of all ages, especially the young. It even became a staple part of the school menu. The apple sometimes falls very far from the tree after all. Coming in at number 3 on our list is a dish that, we can say, finally went on a complete circle. Here is the Naporitan, or, to put it simply, the Japanese spaghetti. The origins of pasta are popularly known to be brought to Italy by Marco Polo after he spent years in the royal courts of the Yuan dynasty in China, the place where noodles were supposedly born. The noodle connection also extended to Japan, where udon and ramen are said to be the descendants of a Chinese noodle soup dish. If we are to believe the authenticity of the Marco Polo pasta noodle connection, then this long delight indeed went full circle, from Asia to Europe and from Europe back to Asia.
Now I am the master.
A long time ago, after the end of World War II, there was a chef named Shigetara Iri who worked in the new Grand Hotel at Yokohama during the 1950s. He aimed to attract the American military as potential customers in his hotel, and so he conceived of an idea to combine the West and the East in a spectacular gastronomic fashion. And so, the Naporitan was born. Named after the city of Naples in Italy, the Naporitan is simply a spaghetti born out of Shigetara's resourcefulness to make a delicious dish despite the lack of resources to make a wonderful pasta dish. Tomato sauce was rare and an expensive ingredient to come by post-World War II, so the chef used ketchup instead of tomato sauce. Coming in at number 4 on our list is one that has a clear Western origin, but became a true Japanese dish years after it was introduced to the country. None other than the Tonkatsu.
Visually, it looks stunning.
Bloody delicious.
That was amazing.
The art of frying to a crunchy perfection is an art form perfected by the Europeans, making its way to Japan in the 19th century. Tonkatsu came from the Sino-Japanese word ton, which means pig, and katsu, the shortened form of the word katsuretsu, which is, or a loan word of the English word cutlet. During this time, a French dish named côtelette de veau was imported to Japan. It is a veal cutlet coated in breadcrumbs and fried in butter. We can say that this dish is a precursor to the tonkatsu as we know it today. In 1895, a restaurant in Ginza district opened, known as Rengate, which is still open today. Rengate pioneered and revolutionized the côtelette de veau for the Japanese palate. The chefs of this restaurant realized that pan-frying the cutlet in butter made it too oily, and so they incorporated the older style of tempura frying, deep frying the cutlet coated in batter, giving it a better crunch and lighter flavor. The stale breadcrumbs were also replaced by the softer panko breadcrumbs, giving it a better color and appearance. Instead of veal or beef, cheaper cuts like pork or chicken were used, frying it carefully to ensure that the exterior is crunchy and the interior still juicy and moist. And so, pork tonkatsu was born. Initially, pork tonkatsu was served alongside hand-cut chateau carrots and potatoes. However, Rengate's small team of chefs found it to be more labor-intensive, so in order to be more efficient, it was replaced by shredded cabbage instead. And the signature demi-glace sauce was substituted by a mixture of 2 types of Worcestershire sauce. Today, there are various ways of serving tonkatsu. You can eat it as a sandwich, eaten like a steak with a side dish, or even a rice meal. And the pork tonkatsu is layered by a luscious blanket of curry sauce. What is your favorite way of eating tonkatsu? Share it in our comment section below. Coming in at number 5 on our list is a dish that is not only popular in Japan, but also around the world, the Hamburg steak. Does it look and sound familiar to you?
Preparing the Krabby Patty!
Yes, the Hamburg steak is the essential part of what we know today, known as the hamburger. But how did this bad boy find his way to Japan? The Hamburg steak is a patty of ground or minced beef brought upon by German immigrants. Sometimes it is served raw, but it can also be served lightly seasoned, then grilled on a skillet. Because of how cheap it is to make, the Hamburg steak became a sensation around the world, and became even more wildly popular as it began to be used as the central ingredient of a type of sandwich we know as the hamburger. Eventually, it found its way to Japan and is believed to be first served in Yokohama. It even became a part of Japan's famous bento box lunches. If you are in Japan, however, you should be careful on what you say to get the right order, because there are two main ways of getting your Hamburg steak. The first one is Hanbaga or Hanbaga, and this is a hamburger as we know it. It is a patty served with buns, with the typical American add-ons on a burger such as onions, tomatoes, relish, and so on. Sometimes it can be customized to the Japanese palate too, but it is the one that resonates the most to Westerners. On the other hand, we also have the Hambagu or the Hanbagu, and that's the way of serving Hamburg steak is more Japanese. It resembles the older Hamburg steak, often served on a plate or a sizzling iron skillet, with the side dish of rice, assorted vegetables, and potatoes. A gravy also tops the Hamburg steak that can be a classic gravy or curry sauce. Now, that is a true multiverse of madness. Thanks again for tuning in with us here at Foodie Legends for our latest episode. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a nice taste of what Japanese Western fusion cuisine has to offer. Before you go, be sure to like this video and click the subscribe button for more delicious content every week. We'd love to hear your thoughts too, so leave a comment below to let us know what your favorite part of the video was, or if you just want to leave us with a few thoughts. You guys are awesome. Thanks again for watching. See you guys on the next one.